Good afternoon. What's the day today? Thursday afternoon. We've just graded 25 tonne of potatoes, so we're on to the fencing project now. So the gate we're putting at the top is a bridleway gate. I'll show you in a minute, but we're going to do some welding on it to try and stop it getting stolen. We have a bit of a trouble with rural crime in our area, so try and do some welding on the gates and maybe we'll be able to keep hold of them. So this is our new bridleway gate made by IAE. So it goes across the track at the pigs, and then the horses can step over it if they need to go along there. To be perfectly honest, no horses go along there anyway because horses hate pigs. So, but we have to legally make it so that they can go along there if they want to. So we're going to do some welding on this gate this afternoon. Well, it didn't quite go to plan. It's alright, but it's a bit of a mess. Chuck some paint on it now. Where it's galvanised, I did try and get most of the galvanising off, but it doesn't weld very nice, and then it's too windy today as well when you're trying to use a MIG welder, and the gas just keeps getting blown away and it spits all over the place, but hopefully that will deter them a little bit. We'll have a go at the next gates. So we've got a pair of field gates to do. They're going to go across the main entrance to the new cattle yard. I'm going to try and get some welding down this side. Not very easy when it's blowing a gale. Well, that's 5 gates welded up. Got the hang of it a bit by the end. It's starting to look a bit better. Come out quite clear. I'll just give them some red paint so that they stand out a bit. It's such a shame that we've got to sprawl all over brand new gates just to try and stop them from getting nicked. This with the red on it stands out. I think the reason we seem to we've done this with all our gates in the past, but if they're nicked and they're in the back of a van and they've got our name written all over them and a bit of an odd colour on one end, just makes it a little bit more difficult to explain why they've got them. So we keep trying, hopefully it'll make a difference. Right, so I think he's hanging the gates down there now, so we'll go down to the field and have a look, see how he's getting on. Right, let's go and have a look at these new gates. All done? Let's have a look. Right, it stands out a bit, that's the main thing. So this is the bridle path gate. Yeah, looks quite good. Gates meet up, do they? Huh? Gates meet up, do they? Of course they do. Happy with it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Good job.
I think it looks smart. So Jordan's been doing our fencing. Did a bit for us last year. We did a field, 15 acres up there, just above the pigs last year. I had to go out that field on my own 4 or 5 years ago, but I just don't get time for it. But how do you rate the Clip-X?
Clip-X is good, easy to put up, and realistically it should last 20-25 years without any trouble. And half the problem with wood is that wood doesn't last as long as the wire that you put up, so you're doing a job twice really, but it should all last the same amount of time.
We put loads up around our livery fields that you replaced last year, and that literally lasted, the stakes lasted 5 years and the post and rail lasted 5 years, and it just didn't last, so that was rubbish. So yeah, this one looks much better. Just want to try and get the new cattle barn surrounded before we put any cows in there. Make sure that if they do get out, they can't go far. So the boys have finished their fencing for a bit. I've got to have a bit of a tidy up, so we've got a pile of dirt to move, and then I've got some road planings down the bottom, so we're going to have a bit of a tidy up. It's where it was an awkward site to fence, to be fair, because we were on a bank, and I didn't want the gate straight across the bottom so that it made access out onto the road easier with long trailers on, but it's just made everything all a bit off camber. Even the track to the pigs was on a slant. It just makes it all a bit awkward, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm going to get some hardcore under there now and see if we can make it look a bit prettier. Get the 4-in-1 hook on. Hopefully they get the new barn finished off this week with the internal bits, then we can do a video and have a look at it. Exciting to get some cows moved in there, to be honest. Good stuff, these road planings. I wish we could get more of them. Got to do a bit of a ramp as well on the front end of the concrete. I'll do that now while I'm at it. I'd like to get this whole area concreted eventually, but just the price of the new barn at the moment's been enough to deal with, so small bits at a time. I don't want to do it, but I've got to do a lot of the outside contracting ourselves. It just seems to be that if I can contract it myself, lay it myself, then I can get twice as much concrete for the money, to be fair. It seems to be that half the price is the concrete and half the price is the labour for laying it, so it's just getting it done when you want it done is the problem. Especially as we've got 80 acres of spuds to get up in the next couple of weeks. It's not going to be before that. I would like to try and get the cows moved before then. This whole patch here is going to be concreted eventually, but we'll move these road planers and use them for something else. supposed to be 3.5 ton lift. They put about 2 ton in it, and it says it doesn't like it. Doesn't need to be perfect. We're going to have to put all this back up again when we concrete it, so gonna get that dirt moved first, I think. Try not to bash the new gate posts and the new fencing, but that wouldn't be a good start. So although it's only road planings all down through here now, it was just mud and a bit of hardcore. It was a mess, to be honest. In the winter it used to just turn into 1 foot deep mud. So far the road planings with a teram underneath, which is like a mesh fibre to stop the mud coming up through the hardcore, seems to be working alright. We're up and down there in the wet and it's not sticking to the tyres anymore and making a mess through the village. But concrete is the end goal. It's just so expensive. 4-in-1 works nicely for clearing out that last little bit. Some hardcore in there now. Actually, I think I've got haylage today. I've got 20 bales of haylage to deliver now. Right, back to the hardcore. I've been and delivered my haylage. I was going to take you with me actually, but then the GoPro ran out of battery, so I've got it charged back up now. But it's a bit of a harrowing experience. I was driving along the road, looking into fields like you do when you're driving a tractor, because you can see over all the hedges. And I went past a horsey paddock, and there was a horse in there that was kind of laying on its side right by a feeder. And it looked like his head was stuck in the feeder. I stopped and pulled over and got out and went and had a look, and the poor devil had got his head stuck in a round bale feeder and was dead. So to try and track a few people down, and got it posted on the local WhatsApp group to the area, and luckily found out who the owner was, and they came and sorted it out. But just a harrowing thing, someone's pet like that. I didn't want to leave it there in case or just drive off and leave it like that in case some young kid came along to find their pony hung up like that. So tried my best to try and sort it out for somebody. Oh well, right, back to this now. Hopefully we've got enough time before it gets dark. Trying to level it off a bit more at this end. The gate hangs a bit higher this end. Let's tidy it up a bit. Doesn't look too bad. Just got to try and get the mud out of it now when we're in and out of the pigs and things.